Have you ever wondered whether there's a path to becoming successful or whether it's always just trying to guess what's going to work and what isn't? This is exactly what we're going to be discussing today. So check out the video. I'm Margaret Blaine, life coach. And my mission is to share how to apply what mankind's learned about how the mind works and our relationship to the universe so that you can discover your purpose, reconnect with your dreams, and build a life that you would love to live. If you'd like to hear more about this topic, subscribe to my video. If you've come to this vlog, I suspect that you've had an experience at one time or another where the whole idea of laws of success have gotten your attention. And boy, I have. It happened to me in my mid-30s. My first husband and I were really struggling to put food on the table to feed our 3 children. And I knew there had to be a better way. There just absolutely had to be a better way. So I started searching around to try and find out what I was missing. When I ran across this wonderful book called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. It was written by Catherine Ponder. Well, the title was really interesting. And I devoured that book. And I decided, well, she knew a lot more about this than I did, so I was going to try some of the things that she recommended in the book. And having not a clue about what I was doing, this was a total experiment. I just decided to create a visualization of gold falling on my head from the sky. And I did that visualization for 3 weeks. When an $8,000 check appeared in the mail, well, $8,000 was worth more then than it is now, and that got my attention big time. What had happened here? And I realized I'd been reading a book called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. I mean, she's talking about spiritual laws, right? Well, I had to find out more about this. So I started looking around to find out where there was more information and discovered that in religions, metaphysics, science, and psychology, there was a lot of different kinds of material. And since this has been my passion now for many years, studying this, I wanted to share it with you. You know, that gut sense that sometimes says things to you like, oh, this person's trustworthy. Take your umbrella when it's perfectly clear out and 3 hours later it rains. Or, this is absolutely your house, no question. Or somebody's watching you. That gut sense, where it says something and then you don't listen and then you regret it. Well, that happened to me a couple of years ago. I had this little thought one day, I wonder how long I've had this icebox. And a couple of days later I thought, you know, this ice is just a tiny bit more damp than it was before. I didn't pay attention. A day later, the icebox died. And had I paid attention, I would have been prepared. As it was a scramble. So hear this quiet little voice. Have you ever wondered where it comes from? Well, we have a human side and we have a spiritual side. And on our human side, we're taught to use the left brain, the rational brain. And that brain is very, very active. It works through the senses, it analyzes, it dissects, it reasons, and it makes decisions. And we're absolutely trained to use it by our culture. And it's considered one of man's highest pinnacles of abilities. But we also have this other side, the right brain, the intuitive brain, which isn't active, it's receptive. It doesn't work through the senses, We don't know where it comes from. It just supplies us with information. Now, the brain's a lot bigger than just the left and right side. There's a whole subconscious mind where our attachment to our individual lives comes in, where memories of all of our past lives, our current life, the seeds of karma, it melds into the quantum field, and then to that field of consciousness which underlies everything else, that void of potentiality. It's called spirit, divine mind, God, the mystic law, life force, whatever it's called. There's something that's bigger than we are, that's created the universes, and we're one with it. Now, that level, that consciousness, when you think about it, is in the eyes of everybody you know. It's in the eyes of the little animals, even the insects, even the plants. There was a wonderful study done in The Secret Life of Plants, a book. I really recommend you read it, where plants were hooked up to a polygraph. Their vibration levels going along like this, and then their owner brought a pair of scissors close to the plant, and the plant's amplitude suddenly did this. It was clearly self-aware. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, one of my early teachers, said that consciousness is even in rocks, although at a very slow rate in rocks. That consciousness is in everything. And I think that the boundary line between consciousness and the quantum field is where the intuition comes from. Also, our deepest desires and our deepest dissatisfactions. And all of these are powered by spirit that's saying, grow, grow, grow. Now, Oprah Winfrey says, your life is always speaking to you. It speaks to you in whispers, guiding you to the next best step. If you ignore these hunches, gut feelings, or do you pay attention to them? So where are you right now? Are you happy with your life and growing? Or are you feeling stuck and dissatisfied? If you're stuck, in our next video, we're going to be talking about some steps to take to get out of that. Now, I'd be really interested to hear if you all have had any experiences that have expanded your thinking like I did. I've shared mine with you, and I would just love to hear yours. So please, write them down in comments. I'll be looking forward to hearing about them. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks.